I got a message on the Twitter. Someone confused me with a guy from what was it? The BBC had a show a few years ago. What was it called? Was it Traders by the Millions? You guys ever heard of that? Not the $1 billion trader, $1 million trader, not the one with on YouTube, but there was another one called Traders by the Millions. It was one of these. I watched it. It was one of those reality show type deals. I really enjoyed it. I watched all that stuff. I watched what was it? Wall Street Warriors had 3 sessions, 3 seasons. You guys ever watch that? Wall Street Warriors. Am I dating myself again? Yeah, Wall Street War. I loved Wall Street Warriors. I think it was $1 Million Traders was on YouTube. And then Traders by the Millions. They were all kind of 3 like reality shows of taking prospective traders and following their journeys and stuff like that. But it was fun. Again, at the time, I didn't really have any trading friends, so that was the way I learned about what it looked like to really trade. It was kind of cool because it showed people. It showed the struggle. Which again was different than internet land. It showed people struggling and the psychological challenges. I remember $1 Million Traders. It was this one guy, like he was great. I think he was great at identifying setups, and he got kicked off the show because he just never executed a trade. Let me close my door real quick. Do you guys remember that? He was great at identifying. Was it a woman? Someone never executed a trade, and the guy was like, "You got to take trades. You got to take trades." And I think either he or she ended up crying and all this fun stuff. But that's real. I mean, many of the traders here, many of the traders I've worked with, are great at identifying setups. The final part, the execution. They're a little scared of success. You see other people do it as well. There are people out there that. They continuously backtest and they create the impression that, oh, I'm backtesting because I'm refining my system and I'm looking to do this, I'm looking to do that, where the honest truth is they're backtesting because they're afraid to go live. That's a scary one. And there are some people here at tier 1 that are kind of stuck in that circle where they're afraid to go live. And the excuse is, I'm just going to backtest and gather more data or refine this system and do this and do that to get it really, really perfect. And the downside of that is, they continue to do that for years and years and years and years. And you can do all the backtesting and stuff you want. But if you're afraid to go live, you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. Yeah, it's funny because it's usually the opposite, but you see both sides of the story, and that's a scary one because it's an excuse that is justifiable. It's an excuse that's justifiable because if we take 2 traders, right, and we take trader A, and trader A is like Nick says, most young traders that just wants to go out there and start trading live, right? It's really easy to kind of school them, right? Be like, hey, no, you need to backtest, do this and do that, right? How hard is it for you to tell someone that's stuck in a backtesting process they need to trade live? That's kind of difficult, isn't it? Like, hey, Naomi, stop all this backtesting and trade live. But aren't I supposed to backtest? Well, yeah. Aren't I supposed to refine my system? Yeah, okay, you're right. Aren't I supposed to build out my portfolio and see how it works the best? Okay, yeah. Right? It's hard to say that because they're doing what they're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, to be a trader, you have to trade. Do you not? You have to trade. Like eventually you have to get out there. That's, you got to put yourself in the game. And Latch brings up a good point. It's not even to make an income or grow your business, but the majority of your learning curve, is in the live markets, right? I look at it like this, right? So I started trading Forex, right? I made the jump from stock investment to the Forex market in 2009, right? 2009, 2008, 2009, somewhere around, somewhere around there. 2008, 2009, right? So let's just say that I spent 2 years. Let's say I spent a year learning how to trade, right? I spent a year learning how to trade, right? So say 2009 to 2010, learning how to trade. I didn't really feel like I was in control, full control of my trading, probably until 2013, 12, 13. So 1 year of learning, 2 3 years of learning, but because of live trading. So yeah, the bulk of your learning curve is done when you're trading live. Those are the real experiences that allow you to grow. And part of it is what we talked about earlier about the trade review, right? Reviewing the tape. That's part of your live experience. Your part of your live experience is not only analyzing the markets live, but it's making mistakes, right? It's making mistakes. It's doing dumb stuff. It's doing dumb stuff. It's placing buy orders when you're supposed to sell orders when you're supposed to buy, and be like, oh man, crap. It's being patient enough to it's entering a trade too early because you didn't wait for the close of the candle, getting involved in the pound dollar here, right? And then coming back to see that the candle actually closed above it. Oh crap, I knew I was supposed to wait, right? Those little stuff that you learn from, and hopefully you don't make that mistake more than once, but that's the real learning experience. And I always tell people, right, I get asked all the time about how long does it take to become a successful trader. And you know, I spoke to a guy this morning, so you can go through the courses in 3 months. I recommend going through the courses in 3 months, 90 days, I should say, a fair enough period to uninstall bad habits and install new ones. But typically, a trader really doesn't find their groove until about a year and a half in, a year and a half to 2 years in, right? So if you're spending 90 days of training, right, 3 months of training, let's say you're spending 3 more months of back testing and getting your strategy set up. Let's say you're trading live after 6 months, right? It's still taking you anywhere from a year, right? A year after that point where you're trading live to really start finding yourself. And how do you really start finding yourself and really becoming in complete control of your trading, both from a technical and a psychological perspective? It's by trading live, just going out there, right? Learning how to drive, going on the actual roads and dealing with the crazies that are swerving in and out, right? It's not driving in the parking lot between the lines at 5 o'clock in the morning when no one is there. Anybody can do that. It's getting on the road and building that intuition. Right? You guys ever been in a car and you have a feeling that someone's not going to stop at that stop sign? You ever get that feeling? You're just like, I'm supposed to go, but this guy looks like it. And then he goes and you're like, see, I told you, right? Why do you get that? Is it dumb luck? It's intuition, right? You ever been on a highway and you see someone like, he doesn't have his turn signal on, but I know he's about to cut me off. And you slow down a little bit just to give him some room. Why does that happen? Intuition, right? But when you first start doing it, you're probably panicking, right? You're in distress. Guy cuts you off and you're screaming, you're cursing at him, whatever like that, and because you never saw it coming. But over years and years and years of driving, you learn how to get a feel for it. I know this trucker can't see me. Same thing in the markets. You gotta go live at some point. That you don't become a good trader until you get out there and start messing up. Until you get out there and start messing up. I tell the track team I coach that all the time. I say, fail with confidence, right? You're going to mess up. Just be confident when you fail. And then you learn from it, we review it, and you do it again. Fail with confidence. But it's funny. Yeah, some people, it's not funny. It's sad. But some people talk themselves into that. They're so scared of actually going live that they'll do the right things, but never actually do the thing that the right thing is supposed to lead to. Let me just go back and read through some of your comments. Those people just need to get real with themselves. Yeah, it's hard though. I mean, because you'll make up. Success is hard. I mean, it's no different from the normal comfort zone, right? You'll tell yourself what you need to stay in that comfort zone, And you can tell yourself that you've broken out of the comfort zone, but there are smaller comfort zones that exist outside the bigger comfort zone. Yeah, you've taken the first step, but you then still got to get out those other steps. Naomi says, someone on IG said it to me, learning curve is much bigger while live. Got to get them to goal set of back testing to set degree and hold themselves to trading. Yeah, but I mean, even here's my opinion, and you guys know I have a different stance on kind of goal setting. I'm not a real big time-based goal setter and stuff like that. But you can set all the goals you want. If you don't follow through with it, what does it really mean? So someone can goal set and be like, I'm going to back test, have all my back testing done by February. But if they don't actually follow through, I mean, because it's really as easy as them going back, oh no, I changed it to March. So they still have to hold themselves accountable at some point, no matter how many goals you set, and because you can always just change them, right? You can always just change them, and you would think people like that are gonna build in excuses. You find your system that really suits you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Part of that learning curve is finding a system that really suits you, and then continuing to tweak it and customize it. Real losses teach real lessons. That sounds like a T-shirt. I like that. Real losses teach real lessons. Trading, tier 1 trading. Real losses, real lessons. I like that. Stolen. George says trying to get out of the market and accidentally doubling your position. Another mistake. Yeah, I'm going through the comments. I'm a little bit late here. Yeah, I've done that before. Trying to get myself out of a trade and I actually add on another position and I will come back later and now I've doubled the loss. I'm like, oh man. Naomi says, isn't this an extreme case of testing for years though without trading? This isn't as common. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more common for people not to test at all than to overly test. Yeah. I think it's, I mean, I doubt most traders know what back testing is to even more actually proceed with back testing. So I think that's a lot more common. But you typically see it with people that are perfectionists. Again, I told you a story of my trading friend who kept building system after system after system after system, and then would never trade it because he wanted it to get from 60% to 70%, 70% to 80%. He was a perfectionist, and there's no such thing as perfect in the market. But because he was hunting for perfection, that was the excuse that he would always tell himself to never actually trade live, but to always go back to and restart his system. So I think you see it more with perfectionists, and you see the opposite with people that are impatient. Impatient people just trade live, no backtest. Perfectionists, they may backtest too much, or make up some excuse. All right, Latch has a question about pound dollar. All right, let's get back to the trading. Nick says I probably wouldn't make the real losses part of the tier 1 slogan. Yeah, that's why I'm not a good business person, Nick. I'm not. Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I don't make the business decisions around here. Because I have ideas like, hey guys, let's do another webinar called Tier 1 Trading Real Losses. And Darren steps in. Probably not. Well, you're right, Darren. Probably not a good idea. Probably not.